Now to the southern border, a dramatic drop in illegal crossings this weekend after fears of a surge following the expiration of Title 42. That was the COVID-era rules. Now, in the days leading up to Title 42's expiration, southern border arrests topped 10,000 a day for several days. Yesterday, that number dropped to right around 6,000, so a pretty substantial drop. That's according to Customs and Border Patrol. Now, Border Patrol facilities still remain crowded as of this evening. More than 20,000 migrants still in custody. And U.S. officials continue to warn migrants that they'll face even tougher consequences if they try to illegally cross the Mexico border into the U.S. And that includes a 5-year ban on reentry and potential criminal prosecution. We have team coverage tonight on both sides of the U.S.-Mexico border. NewsNation's Jorge Ventura is in Mexico for us this evening, and anchor Chris Cuomo is live in Texas. Chris, let's start with you. You got down there earlier today, just a little while ago. I guess my first question to you is what are you seeing? What are you learning?
Hey, Blake, how you doing? The most frightening thing about the situation in El Paso and all along the ports of entry and major points of ingress where people like to cross is what you don't see. The media is not down here in big numbers because they were expecting an invasion. Behind me, there should be 500, 1,000 people that are being held, and that's the kind of spectacle that will draw coverage. The problem is that the spectacle is what drives people being skeptical, right? It doesn't sound great, but it's reasonable. Where are these people? 10,000 a day, where are they now? Why aren't they here? And the really troubling thing, Blake, is the answer. They're not here because they've been apprehended and then released, what people call, catch and release. So we don't know where they are. They didn't just disappear. The problem wasn't handled. This isn't border protection. The reason the numbers spiked like that was because they were doing quick processing and then letting them go. So we don't know where they are. We largely don't know who they are or if we'll ever see them again. And that is a big problem that demands a lot more coverage than when you have big groups of people, because by definition, if they're here, you know where they are. So this is very troubling. It's not something the president should be laughing about, but I do get the politics of it. The politics of it are the right comes down, Senator Cruz and others, and says there's going to be an invasion. The pictures are going to be horrible. But then that doesn't happen, so it looks like a win for the Biden administration, but it's not a win for the country. And the people who are getting most victimized are not the migrants, not even Border Patrol, who are incredibly overwhelmed. Remember, back in 2019, during the Obama administration, then Jay Johnson, who was in charge of our security, said 1,000 a day is overwhelming. I can't imagine more than that. They've been doing 10,000 a day. So think about how overwhelming that is. The biggest victims are the people caught in the middle, who live in these communities, who get overrun and vandalized and burglarized and physically assaulted. And the government's not here. The government doesn't pay. And they are living in hell in a lot of these communities. And that's why we came here. And tonight on my show, I'll be telling their story and talking about how this and not knowing where all these people went is the scariest thing possible.
You know, Chris, there was the Biden administration had been saying, we're ready for this moment. 2 years, we've been preparing for this moment. And then there was that judge who basically put a stop to parole, which was on a case-by-case basis, letting some of these migrants out. But you're saying that's, even though that there's that court case or that injunction in effect, that it's still happening.
Well, look, here's my case. My case is, where are all these people?
Right.
You go to the church, you go to the surrounding communities, and you see people with their little manila envelopes and they show up on this date. That's catch and release. Catch and release means they're in the country. That's what happened with the big numbers of people that flooded the zone in anticipation of Title 42 and word of some of these harsher measures potentially coming into effect. By the way, not a bad policy change. If you cross illegally, banning that person once they're apprehended is great. But always remember this, and I know you know this already, Blake, but for everybody at home, the numbers that we wash over you with, 10,000 a day, 80,000, 700,000, whatever the number is, it's like pouring a glass of water into your hand and just talking about what's in your hand. What about the gotaways? They have no idea. They know for a fact they're only apprehending a small amount of everybody that comes in. Yep. The system is broken. It's a problem that works for the parties, but that damns the communities that have to live with the reality.
Indeed. Chris, we'll catch you in a couple hours' time to 8 o'clock Eastern with your report on the border. Thank you, Chris. Make sure to watch Chris here on NewsNation, 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock Central in a couple hours from now. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.